Imagine losing your vision, feeling your muscles and bones break down fast, or even going through permanent genetic changes, all while floating in space. Spending a year away from Earth isn't just a physical challenge, it's a total body transformation that most people wouldn't expect. What happens in space doesn't just stay in space. What astronauts go through can actually change healthcare back here on Earth. And the craziest part? Some of these effects might completely change how we understand life. Stick around and find out how space is literally shaping the future of humanity in some pretty wild ways. Losing your vision. When we talk about spending a long time in space, one of the first big issues that comes up is gradually losing your sight. Imagine being surrounded by stars and the endless universe, but your vision starts to blur. This condition, known as intracranial pressure syndrome, happens to a lot of astronauts. Without gravity to help fluids move around, those fluids build up behind the eyes, pressing on the optic nerve and messing with vision. This makes space exploration even trickier, since being able to see well is crucial for using equipment and doing delicate tasks. It's like being in this mind-blowing place full of cosmic wonders but not being able to see them clearly. And worse, this vision loss might be permanent, which can mess with your life back on Earth. Now, imagine coming back to Earth after a space mission only to find out your vision will never be the same. Science is working hard to figure this out and come up with new ways to prevent it. Space exploration is amazing, but at the same time, it's full of space-related mysteries that make us rethink how the human body handles extreme conditions. Adjusting to weightlessness without gravity, our bodies go through some pretty major changes. On Earth, our muscles and bones are constantly working against gravity, even for something as simple as walking. But in space, where gravity doesn't have that pull, our bodies have to adapt in a big way. It's almost like the universe is saying, hey, you don't need to use those muscles like you used to anymore. That sounds kind of cool, right? Well, not really. Over time, not using your muscles weakens them. And it's not just muscles, weightlessness messes with your balance and sense of direction, too. For people who are used to the stability that gravity provides here on Earth, this can be pretty disorienting. Space exploration, with all its cool mysteries and challenges, forces us to rethink how our bodies work. Even something as simple as sleeping gets tricky because there's no lying down feeling like we're used to. This whole process of adjusting to space is both awesome and challenging, showing us just how strange space can be for the human body and how the lack of gravity reveals even more curiosities about the universe that blow our minds. Rapid muscle and bone breakdown. Gravity on Earth is a big deal when it comes to keeping our muscles and bones strong. But in space, without gravity, your muscles and bones start breaking down fast. Astronauts can lose up to 1% of their bone mass every month. Now imagine spending a whole year out there. It's like space is working against your body, forcing scientists to come up with new ways to slow down this process. If nothing is done to stop it, coming back to Earth could be a nightmare, with your body too weak to handle gravity again. So, what's the fix? Constant exercise on space-adapted machines. But even those machines can't fully replicate Earth's gravity. Plus, muscle breakdown is a big deal too. Astronauts need to exercise for around 2 hours every day to minimize the damage, but even then, they face a tough rehab process when they get back to Earth. This rapid deterioration is a constant reminder of all the mysteries of space we're still trying to figure out. Space exploration isn't just about leaving Earth behind, it's about rethinking how our bodies work in extreme conditions. Extreme weight loss and loss of appetite. Losing weight in space is real, but not the kind you'd want. In zero gravity, the way the body processes nutrients changes, and many astronauts lose their appetite. While it might sound nice to just eat less, this can get dangerous really fast. The body, already dealing with so many changes, can't afford to lose out on key nutrients. Space food is carefully designed, but the lack of flavor doesn't help with the appetite problem. Imagine being surrounded by the universe, filled with space wonders, but you just don't feel like eating anything. That makes it even harder for astronauts to stay healthy and do their daily tasks. Space exploration requires a strict diet plan to make sure astronauts get the calories and nutrients they need, even when they don't feel like eating. Genetic changes. Long-term exposure to space doesn't just mess with your body's visible parts, it can even mess with your DNA. Recent studies show that spending a lot of time in space can cause genetic changes in astronauts. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real, and scientists have to figure out how to deal with it. DNA is the blueprint of who we are, and these changes, caused by radiation and other space conditions, could have long-term effects that we don't fully understand yet. These genetic changes are one of the biggest space mysteries, and scientists are working hard to figure out how they happen and how to prevent them. After all, these changes could affect future space missions and raise questions about how far we can push space exploration. And of course, understanding how the universe affects our DNA could lead to breakthroughs in health treatments back here on Earth. Space radiation, cosmic radiation in space is a constant danger, and it's a whole different game compared to the protection we get from Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field. Space exploration puts astronauts directly in the path of this radiation, which can damage cells and DNA. Those who spend a lot of time in space are exposed to levels of radiation that can significantly increase their risk of cancer and other serious diseases. To put it into perspective, a one-year mission in space exposes astronauts to about 10 times the amount of radiation that nuclear workers are allowed to receive in a year. It's a risk astronauts take to bring us more knowledge about the universe. Scientists are working on better protection technologies, but we still have a lot of space mysteries to solve when it comes to radiation, especially before we head out on longer missions like a trip to Mars. Puffy face syndrome and fluid shifts. Imagine waking up every day feeling like your face is swollen, like you slept upside down. That's what happens to a lot of astronauts because the lack of gravity causes fluids to shift around in the body. On Earth, gravity keeps fluids down in our lower bodies, but in space, those fluids move up, giving astronauts that puffy face look. Besides the cosmetic discomfort, this fluid shift puts pressure on the brain and eyes, contributing to vision problems and headaches. While astronauts say that over time the body starts to adjust, the puffiness sticks around for the whole mission. It's just one more example of how life in space, filled with cool discoveries, also throws strange physical challenges our way that make us rethink how gravity shapes our biology. Overworked heart and circulation changes in space. Without gravity, the heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood around the body. This might sound good, but it can lead to the heart getting overworked in different ways, causing issues with circulation. It's pretty wild to think that space, with all its beauty and mysteries, can affect something as fundamental as our heart in such unexpected ways. Astronauts have to be constantly monitored to make sure their hearts aren't being permanently damaged. Space may seem like a place of infinite wonder, but it's also a place where every organ in the body has to constantly adapt. Space exploration is all about preparing astronauts physically for these changes, making every mission a true test of human endurance. The research done around these heart issues might not just help astronauts, it could also lead to new ways to treat heart disease on Earth. Kidney damage. The lack of gravity affects the kidneys in ways we're still trying to figure out. The buildup of fluids in the body can put extra stress on the kidneys, leading to issues like kidney stones, which are painful and dangerous, especially in space where medical help is limited. To prevent serious kidney damage, astronauts follow a special diet and are closely monitored to make sure their kidneys are functioning properly. But the risk is always there, and it's just one more challenge of space exploration. Solving these problems is key not just for future missions like going to Mars but also for helping us understand kidney diseases better here on Earth. A weak body when returning to Earth. Coming back to Earth after a long space mission is another huge challenge. After months without gravity, the body struggles to function normally in Earth's gravity. Astronauts often feel dizzy, weak, and can have trouble standing up. This rough return to gravity makes us realize just how perfectly adapted we are to Earth, and how space, with all its mysteries, really challenges our bodies in ways we're still learning to understand. Astronauts need weeks of intense rehab to get their bodies readjusted to Earth. And even with all the scientific progress, this recovery process is long and sometimes painful. Space exploration might be amazing, but it's also a reminder that the human body isn't naturally designed to live outside our planet. The research done on astronauts after their missions helps doctors find new ways to treat mobility and muscle problems on Earth. Extreme challenges in long-term space missions are a huge challenge, not just physically but mentally, too. Isolation, being so far from Earth, and the constant feeling of confinement can really mess with an astronaut's mind. Space exploration might be full of fascinating mysteries, but it's also packed with psychological challenges that need serious mental preparation. Keeping a healthy mind in such a tough environment is one of the biggest space mysteries we're still trying to solve. Virtual reality and online social activities are being tested to help astronauts deal with stress and loneliness. Plus, new forms of entertainment and communication are being developed to make these long missions more bearable. What we learn about mental health during these missions could completely change how we handle isolation and confinement here on Earth, leading to new treatments for mental health issues. Space innovations that improve health on Earth. Space exploration doesn't just reveal the mysteries of the universe, it also leads to huge breakthroughs in human health here on Earth. Research done in extreme environments like space has taught us a lot about the human body and its abilities. The challenges astronauts face, like muscle and bone loss, have pushed scientists to create new treatments that can help with conditions like osteoporosis and muscle atrophy here on Earth. Plus, the solutions designed to protect astronauts from radiation and other space dangers could also be used to treat cancer and prevent diseases caused by toxic environments. Space exploration can end up helping us live better lives right here on Earth. The technological and medical innovations coming from space show that the mysteries of space aren't just there to satisfy our curiosity, they're also improving our quality of life. Space is relentless, transformative, and holds secrets we've only just begun to uncover. After everything you've learned here, the big question is, how far are we willing to go to challenge the limits of the human body? What else does the universe hide that could change everything we know about health, genetics, and even life itself? The next frontier may be more dangerous than we think, but also more rewarding than we could ever imagine. If you truly want to understand what the future holds and explore the deepest mysteries of the universe, now is the time. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. What's coming next could be the key to revolutionizing our understanding of life, and you won't want to miss out on this cosmic journey.